Nearly 2,400 buildings damaged or destroyed, 9 dead, 55 injuries, lava thrown as much as 11 kilometers or 6.84 miles away, causing many large craters to form where they landed, and a wide region covered in a layer of ash. It would thus be a vast understatement to say that it has not been a good week for a portion of Indonesia's island of Flores, which overall is home to 2 million people. While only 16,000 of these people have been evacuated due to a volcanic eruption of the Laki-laki cone of the Lewotobi volcano, there is a risk that this figure is about to further expand. A quick late edit. Lewotobi's 7 to 8 kilometer exclusion zone in all directions has just been expanded from 8 to 9 kilometers in its northwest, west, and southwestern sectors, indicating that further evacuations are now occurring. During the last 48 hours, multiple eruption types were observed at the Laki-laki cone, the most interesting and unusual of which began at 9 p.m. local time on November 7. As an orange glow became visible emanating from Lewotobi's tall lava fountain summit, it only took a matter of time for a lava fountain to be generated. This lava fountain, while intermittent, slowly increased in size until at 1 a.m. local time on November 8, a sustained 2,000 meter or 6,561 foot tall lava fountain was generated. This occurred alongside moderate volcanic ash emissions, causing many millions of tiny particles of ash to rub together and create static electricity, creating volcanic lightning. This was followed by a vulcanian explosion which sent a plume of ash to an elevation of 5,800 meters or 19,029 feet. Across the next 13 hours, 6 additional vulcanian eruptions occurred, and the plumes they produced slowly got taller and taller over time, largely occurring in pairs separated by less than 45 minutes. A similar slow escalation occurred before the subplinian eruption on November 7, so it was not too surprising when at 4:47 a.m. local time on November 9, another large explosion occurred. This generated additional pyroclastic flows, but most notably sent a plume of ash rapidly upwards to an altitude of 50,000 feet or 4,572 meters. While this eruption was seemingly smaller than the other two large eruptions this month at Lewotobi, it still caused large amounts of ash to once again fall around the volcano. This ash has really piled up in some evacuated locations, lahars accumulating to more than 6 centimeters or 2.36 inches thick. Because of this, there is now a threat of damaging lahars, aka volcanic mudflows, around the volcano when the next heavy rain event occurs, with this hazard being most likely to affect existing drainages around its edifice. Eruption chronology. And now, here is Lewotobi's current eruption chronology. Lewotobi's Laki-laki cone has been continuously erupting since its latest eruption began on December 23 of 2023. This activity initially generated a medium-length pyroclastic flow, and was followed by a series of weaker explosions associated with ash emissions. Then, on January 9th, a basaltic andesite lava began effusing from its summit, heading towards the east. This flow would advance 4.25 kilometers downslope, before coming to a halt right before a pit excavated to temporarily stall its movement towards a town. Eruptive activity thereafter decreased in February, March, and April, but then started to slowly increase in May and June. This slow increase escalated on October 31, when a new batch of magma intruded underneath the Laki-laki cone. Here is a brief overview of Lewotobi's eruptive timeline for the first 8 days of November. Now, I want to remind everyone that the 10 active, not a cluster of activity or potentially active volcanoes spread across the island of Flores, are not connected. Yes, it is true that this island has produced an unusual level of volcanic unrest this year, specifically at 4 of its volcanoes, but this is merely a statistical fluke which will happen given a long enough period of time. Something similar occurred when 3 of the Sangihe Island's 4 volcanoes were erupting or at a raised alert level in May of this year. In both cases, this was just an expected statistical abnormality, with no actual deeper indications.